can have us a little bit of fun. Let me see if I can't scoot this bad boy down just a smidgen so it's like angled a little bit better. What's going on, everybody? Andrew Douglas Moon here. I haven't been able to hang out with you guys and do a fragrance stream in a little while. First of all, you're going to hear me sniffle. It's probably going to be frustrating, but you're going to hear me sniffle quite a bit during this stream. To be honest with you guys, I've had a rotten cold for basically about, I don't even know, probably about 4 days now. So I've been kind of dealing with that. You're probably going to notice that my voice is a little funky. What's up, Eli? Super happy to see you, my friend. Everybody is welcome to pop through here as always. So if you don't know, I'm Andrew Douglas Moon. I'm going to be hanging out, chilling with fragrances as always. What's up, my buddy Armand? How you doing? So yeah, as you can tell, my voice is a little funky. I definitely, let me see if I can adjust this a little bit. Hopefully you can hear me pretty well. I apologize if you hear me sniffle, but I've definitely been sick. So I've been trying to stay away from the fragrance streams because it wouldn't be really sensible for me to be talking about fragrances if I myself can't even go back and smell them. So I hope you're all having a beautiful day. I don't know where you live, so you may or may not give a crap. But happy 4th of July anyways, if it's something that you celebrate. If not, that's totally fine. But as usual, while I'm hanging out with you guys, if you have any fragrance questions, if I can help you, I'd love to just hang out and do so. If not, hey, either way, we'll talk about whatever you guys want. I don't really care. It's supposed to be like a holiday situation here where I'm at. I'm happy to be a part of it, I guess, whatsoever. They're going to be doing fireworks and stuff here where I live. But probably not going to really be seeing it because, again, my wife's not feeling so good. She, as well, has been coming down with the cold. So figured I'd hang out with you guys for a while and just chill. So if y'all have any questions you'd like to ask about fragrances, again, I haven't even been able to smell for a week, so it's been driving me nuts. How are you, big bro? Sorry, I couldn't attend previous streams. That's totally fine, dude. I'm just happy you've been getting ready for an exam, an IMP exam. What is that, my friend? Honestly, I am doing great. I'm, like I said, as you can probably maybe tell from my voice, I'm getting over a sickness. But basically, literally, I don't know if you was able to hear about it or not. I don't know if you saw any part of the streams, but my grandma's funeral was last week. And then 2 days or a day and a half after my grandma's funeral, my uncle passed away. So that was not an easy time, but I got through it. And then like 2 days after my uncle passed away, started getting sick. So as you can tell, I'm still dealing with a little bit of that. So again, I apologize if during this stream I make any funny sounds, but I'm just happy to be able to smell again because I've been going crazy. I've been spraying myself, even with the strongest stuff. I tested it. I didn't have COVID. I just had a strong cold, but I tested it, and even Sauvage Elixir, I can smell it now. But believe it or not, even with Sauvage Elixir, I sprayed it and I was like, oh, I'm in trouble because I can't not smell anything at this point. So, but I'm doing fantastic. Please let me know if the audio is coming through really good or decent enough. But yeah, I hope that you've been doing great. And I don't know if you've taken the exam yet or not, but if you have, I'd love to know how that went. I'm not sure if you found out yet or not. But to anybody new who pops through here, again, I'm Andrew Douglas Moon. I do a lot of things on this channel. This started off as and is going to continue to be like based around fragrances in and of itself. But I do other stuff. Everybody of all walks of life is welcome here. Not trying to sell you guys anything. I just talk about fragrances. I'm not sponsored. I buy everything that I use and talk about here myself, so I can give you my like real honest thoughts about it. But remember, fragrances, just like every work of art, is totally subjective. It's completely up to the person. So I pray they rest in peace. You get well soon. You do remember me, right? Oh, I remember you, all right. That's why I was happy to see you here. It's been a while since I've had the opportunity to hang out and actually talk with you. So I'm glad to get to see anybody who pops through here. A lot of the streams that I've been doing recently have been like early in the morning, especially again since I've been sick and stuff. So what's up, Diego? Super happy to see you, my friend. I'm glad you're able to come through tonight. Like I said, I haven't been doing these evening time streams. Sorry, I don't want to be nasty, but again, I'm still getting over this sickness, so you're going to hear me sniffle a lot. But I'm super happy to be able to come hang out with you guys again. So please tell me, how has things been with you? I hope life has been absolutely beautiful. By the way, anybody new who pops through, if you see the title that I posted this video, not trying to be like overly gotcha or anything like that. It's just I myself have continued to think about it, and I have before I got sick, continued to go to the stores and test out at the niche store a few more different perfumes, and I myself have some stuff coming in, but I haven't had a chance to smell it just yet. A few more dupes and cheapies, stuff like that. Let me see what you said. Is Bulgari nice candy. I actually have not tried that, Diego. So thank you for asking. I actually have not tried that myself whatsoever. I would love to add that to my collection. I definitely like ginger and orange and sandalwood, so I'd really love to give that a shot. I actually realized recently, tried to rewear the Armani Stronger With You parfum, and I gotta say, out of the entire line, this is still personally my favorite of the bunch. But with that being said, I actually realized this is not really for me. I wore it 2 different times, and just came to understand, you know what, this is just not my style. Have you tried any aromatics fragrances? I have not tried any aromatics fragrances just yet. So those are from the French Avenue line, and I gotta say, I do want to get my hands on Vandal. I think that's what it's called, Vandal, something along those lines. He's got like 4 different ones, but I do want to try them. It's just, I've seen mixed reviews. No offense to the guy in and of himself, but I'm not a huge fan anyways of everything that comes from that fragrance company. They do an okay job, but with him in and of itself, I've seen that the fragrances from just regular folks and not reviewers say that they're just not quite something maybe I would probably lean towards, but I do want to get them. Congratulations. I recently got Imagination as a gift to myself for my promotion. That's awesome, buddy. How are you liking it? I'd love to know how it's going for you. So again, I have not smelled Imagination in quite a while. I don't own the bottle myself just because, again, Louis Vuitton is just not my style. But I would like to know, have you been enjoying it? So that's super happy for you, my friends, and happy to see anybody who comes through here. Again, I haven't done these reviews, or I haven't done these live streams in quite a while with the fragrances. Been doing other stuff, but I appreciate all you guys so much. Unlucky Charm, thanks for stopping through. So most definitely would love to know how you guys have been, what's been going on in your life. Again, I'm still coming off the back end of a very unhappy sickness and finally happy to be able to smell things again. Ooh. Also growing a little bit more, to be honest with you, a little bit more appreciation for the Taarathi Blue. Was not the biggest fan of this when I first got my hands on it. I just thought it smelled excessively basic. And don't get me wrong, it does. But for a summertime fragrance, I've been starting to come to a little bit more of appeal for this as just a regular day, toss it on, go wear it if I'm going to go to the pool or something like that. And Rare Carbon has really started to speak to me more often as a replacement for, as you know, anybody who's a regular to the channel. I really love ombre leather, specifically parfum. Rare Carbon reminds me of a variation on the Eau de Parfum, but next week or so, a couple weeks, I have PDM Hautane. I really love that DNA. Oh, heck yeah, my friend. I personally enjoy PDM Hautane. I, for quite a while, was suggesting this over the original Oud for Greatness. I do got to say, lately, I've started to kind of gear shift towards Oud for Greatness a little bit more. Maybe because of performance. Oud for Greatness, as you know, for somebody with eczema and tattoos and stuff, I like things that have like a good density of performance. And PDM, really love Parfums de Marly. But Hautane, the scent, I maybe like a little bit more, maybe than Oud for Greatness, but overall, for what you get out of it, I think I kind of lean towards Oud for Greatness in general these days. I didn't used to. For a long time, I was all about Hautane, and I still say if anybody, would rather have that scent profile, there are differences between the two as much as people like to compare them. And when I say people, even I've done a video doing it myself. By the way, if anybody stops through here, my voice is not usually like this. I am still getting over a cold, but I'd love to talk with you guys and answer your questions. It has been way too long since I got to do a fragrance stream. Again, to anybody who's new here, I'm not sponsored by anything. I buy all these myself. Let's see. I love that sweetness. The praline gives it another character. It does. It does. In India here, due to enormous amount of population, getting the unity exam is on July 13th. So I was studying 10 hours a day. Oh my goodness. I can honestly say there's been very few times in my life that I have done anything remotely close to studying 10 hours a day. And most definitely, I know that had to be extremely difficult. So I'm proud of you for working so hard at it. And I hope that it goes well when you actually finally get to do that. But boy, oh boy, as you guys can see, the title of this video, I named it Get Well Soon. Thank you. I appreciate that. Summer colds are absolutely horrible. I know I shouldn't buy since the summertime between Elysium Roja Parfum. Well, I'm going to definitely tell you I wouldn't recommend doing that, but obviously it's super hard when you get that itch and you really want to get your hands on something. 10 hours a day is insane. Yeah, studying for 10 hours a day is crazy. When I do the studies that I do, it's normally for probably about maybe 5 or 6 hours at max when I get the opportunity to do so. Something like that, though. I couldn't imagine it. But anybody who pops through here, just want to throw this out there. I don't mean to be sensational with the titles of these streams. It's obviously just to maybe help get people to come through and have discussions. I'm not a professional, anything. I just do fragrance reviews. I buy everything that I have. I just want to throw this out there. I do love my niche fragrances. There's a lot of perfume companies that I'm a huge fan of. But personally, I still have to say at the end of the day, and this is just my own opinion, I definitely think that designer fragrances, when done well, have just a timelessness to them, this classic feel that connects to anybody and everybody across all bounds. I'm so sorry. And for me, Capri in Love or Paradise Garden. I'm going to go with Paradise Garden, just to be completely honest with you. I'm so sorry. Omar, what's going on, buddy? If at any time you guys see me toss the microphone to the side and go off on a coughing fit, really do sincerely ask your forgiveness, because I'm still getting past this cold. And I know you would probably say there's probably a lot of people who are like, well, if you're still getting past the cold, why would you come on to do a live stream? And you're probably correct in thinking that. But it's been so long. Omar, I'm so happy to see you. But it's just, I've been missing everybody when I do these streams. I've been doing like my biblical study streams early in the morning on this channel for anybody who's interested in that kind of stuff. Also, just throwing this out there, which a lot of you guys may not give a crap about this, even though I am personally a Christian and I do Bible studies on here. I also study other belief systems, and I always have been doing that. And as somebody who's a big fan of the Bhagavad Gita, I'm planning on doing readings of that pretty soon. I know that different people might be interested in different religions and stuff like that. Perhaps you might want to hear different scriptures from other beliefs. So I don't know if that's going to go remotely well whatsoever, or maybe other people of my own belief system might really trash it when I do that. But if anybody would like to come through and be part of that, it'd be pretty fun to have you there. Omar, hopefully you'll like the Jubilation. I'm trying to watch all the reviews, Diego. The Jubilation clone? I did not know you got a Jubilation clone. Let me know which one you got. If possible, please adjust the timings of the stream a little if possible, because it's 4 a.m. I'm so sorry. I will definitely see what I can do. I don't know. First of all, it's crazy that you're still awake at this point, but it's hard for me personally, because right now it is, let me see, it is 6:30 p.m. here in the United States where I'm at. And it's a little difficult to work with everybody's schedules. I was doing these streams like this around like 10 a.m. here for a while, and it seemed to be working out pretty good. As of lately, it's been tougher, especially as I gear shifted more towards the afternoon and evenings. But super happy to see you here. I got Paris Corner, Killer Oud Jubilant. Do you have the OG? I do. Personally, I've got Jubilation right here, and it actually is one of my favorite homages. It has a beautiful little bit of a oud note going on underneath there. Hella, I wish you all the best. Respect. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I seriously do. Just want to take a moment to throw that out there. Thank you for taking the time to say that to me. It means a lot to me. And I hope all the same thing to you, my friend. You are welcome here anytime. What is your name? Is that Flower Autumn? That's a wonderful name. So I thank you for that kindness. And I hope the same for your love. I send oceans of love and respect towards you. And I hope the best for your health. I definitely am dealing with the cold myself, the sickness or whatever. So it's probably very off-putting. But to my friend Omar, definitely, the original Jubilation is a fantastic fragrance. I gotta say though, I've given this an incredible amount of time. I've had this for a while, given it quite a bit of time of maceration and so forth, and the performance is not fantastic. Just throwing it out there. It is not the greatest of all the Amawages. They tend to do pretty well. Not as good as Xerjoff's, but this isn't going to be like something that you would get out of interlude or reflection. But what's up, my friend Silly Salmon? Super happy to see you here. I want to say God bless Israel and your wife. Happy 4th of July. Well, hey, I want to say God bless every single nation out there. And as well, happy 4th of July to you, my friend. I don't know if you personally celebrate. I don't want to push that on anybody. I myself, how would I say this? I don't want to offend anyone, but it's not really something I give too much of a crap about. Then again, I don't care too much about most holidays. Just throwing it out there. But I am happy to be like eating hot dogs and stuff and being a little fatty, as I usually am on days like today. So happy 4th of July to everybody out there who potentially celebrates. And also, I'm just super glad to see you guys here. We're hanging out. We're talking about fragrances, but we're also talking about whatever you guys want to, as usual. And I appreciate y'all. But yeah, Jubilation is pretty cool. I got to say, just like there's another fragrance that I'm really thinking about giving away. And when I say that, I don't mean giving away like to you guys who are viewers. I wish I could. It's just not really something that's a big possibility for me at this point. But imitation, I realize this is just not quite for me. Most fragrances that feature a little bit of castoreum and things like, not that that's the problem, but there is a sweetness and a feel that comes off of this. I really like to smell it out of the bottle. And there's this like bright, almost cherry Pepsi, cherry Coke type of scent. I know that's not describing it right because not everybody gets that. But me personally, that's the feel that I get from this. But to be honest with you, I've tried it, and ultimately I realized this is just too much. Like after a couple of hours of wearing it on my skin or on my shirts. So imitation is definitely one of those amouages that I plan on giving away to one of my friends or something if they like it. Pratik, what's up, buddy? I am doing fantastic. You might be able to hear that I'm dealing with a bit of a cold. That's part of why I haven't been doing fragrance streams this past week. I've been doing other streams, but just not this one. But I'm very happy, brother. Don't get me wrong, but I'm pretty sure that cold and fragrances don't play well together. No, you're correct about that. That is very true. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I just started being able to smell my fragrances again as of today. The cold really wiped out that for when I was able to put Dior Sauvage Elixir to my nose and I thought, wow, I can't smell this. That's when I realized I'm definitely in trouble. Like if I overspray anything, I'm going to be drowning people and be like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't put anything on. But I have been keeping it safe, wearing just my regular Dior Sauvage Parfum, wearing one of my absolute summertime favorites. This is somebody I saw the other day said with the O Intense Light Blue that they only got roughly about, I think they said they get like 5 hours out of this. Just want to throw that out there. I don't know about you guys, but me personally, again, nobody sponsors me. I have to pay for all these. So I'm telling you straight up, at least my own real experiences as a non-professional. But this bad boy, when I put this on and I was out in the hot sun, sweaty at the beach, well, me and my wife, it's literally like 2.5 hour drive to the beach, 2.5 hours back. We were there all day and I was out there in the hot sun. I do got to say, when I put this on multiple times the past couple of months, as the summertime was coming in, I got entire day's worth of wear out of this. And so I don't know if it's just because I've had this for a very long time. I've used it quite a bit. It's had time to macerate or something. But by the way, to my other friend Omar here, I got to throw a whole lot of love your way. Definitely happy 4th of July to you. My friend Malik, what's going on? Hey, I hope you guys are having a fantastic time. Jocelyn often said to him, it smells like a prince wearing all gold riding in the desert. Are you talking about, I'm not sure if you're still referring to the original that we were talking about, Jubilation, but if that is the case, I would probably say I agree with that. But hey, my friend, I'm super happy to see you here. I just got some drainage on me, which is not something that you probably normally want to say. What's your take on pure oud oils? I got to be honest with you. Not the biggest fan. I like certain oud profiles. I will tell you straight up, I'm not the type of person who likes a powerful oud note in the fragrances that I tend to wear. I like it to be a little bit more calmed down. Now, certain fragrances that say oud in the name, like one of my absolute favorites of all time is Oud Silk Mood by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Just to be real, it's not that powerful of an oud scent, even if there is barely one to be noticed whatsoever. It's more of a papyrus note. But I do like oud as like a back note, just not something very strong. Pure oils are too much for me. Is there anything special on 4th of July? Let me know. Like fireworks, that's pretty much it, unless you mean like fragrances. It's an Orient. Have you ever tried the original Terre d'Hermès? I have. I actually think that it's a really nice fragrance. It's starting to grow on me a little bit more. I also like Oriental fragrances, and Oud Silk Mood is absolutely one of my favorites. Fragrance. Andrew, what do you think about Haldane? I think it's fantastic. It's actually something I've had for quite a while. I did a comparison review a while back of Haldane versus Oud for Greatness. I, at that time, was more of a Haldane person, but I will say as time has went on, I would recommend Haldane more to people for affordability reasons. Maybe for how much that you get out of the bottle, as well as the scent profile is fantastic, very regal. But just want to throw this out there. I think that I like Oud for Greatness a little bit more of a fragrance. It's got a little bit more of a youthful sweetness to it. Sorry. Again, this cold is knocking me down. I'm getting past it, but it is affecting me still. But yeah, I definitely think that at the end of the day, I'm a little bit more of an Oud for Greatness person, but Haldane is fantastic. And I know some people might be asking, why are you talking about them as if they go together? They are often compared to one another. They are also sister companies, technically speaking, Initio and Parfums de Marly. With that being said, though, I will say I've continued to try out the Casterly fragrance from Parfums de Marly, and it's still just a flop. Definitely don't recommend anybody go out there and throw your money at it. But I am very happy to see you, and I definitely know you guys don't do 4th of July over there. I see jokes quite often about people talking about excuse me, I definitely see people talk a lot about how, like, if today, if the British had won, or if the British had continued to own us, we'd be eating beans and mash and stuff like that. And I also saw people talking about how do you stick it to England or the UK during July 4th, and they were pouring out things of tea. And I was like, oh, the stupid jokes, the memes that we do are absolutely fantastic. I've never personally tried traditional British food, so I've tried German food. Just want to throw this out there. Well, me and my wife, we traveled around multiple places in Germany, out to the Bavarian areas, and then just mostly around Munich, Nuremberg, stuff like that. Tegernsee. Just got to throw this out there. I know this has nothing to do with fragrance, but German food is actually fantastic. People said it's not. I think it's actually fantastic. So, Douglas, top 5 oud fragrances. I'll get to that in just a second, but let me see. Happy 4th. What do you think about Miyake? Old school. I've actually not tried that one, Joshua. Just want to throw this out there. I've never got my nose to that fragrance, but I would like to, and I appreciate you stopping through and asking. Real quick, top 5 favorite oud or top 5 oud fragrances. I'm going to set aside the fact that I don't really love pungent oud, so I'm going to list ones that I think are true to the core. I think if somebody really wanted like a really good oud fragrance, and I have it down at the bottom, that'd be Hayat, Hayat, Hayat by Xerjoff. Silver Oud. Silver Oud by Amouage is probably a fantastic one. I'm going to throw in there, even though it's not very oudy, Oud Silk Mood, as well as Eternal Oud by Lattafa is a good one if you want something on the more cheaper end. And then lastly, it's not really oudy in any way, shape, or form, but Oud Lemon Mint is a really good, like, oudish name. It still doesn't really count. I know it's a cop-out, but I think you would love Moon by Frederic Malle. I have to check that out. I would love to check that out. Besides Light Blue Intense, could you say which top 3 or 5 fragrances are good for super hot and humid summer days? So it would not be redundant to have both of these, but if you got your hands on the Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Le Parfum and then Le Beau Paradise Garden, it would not be redundant for you to have both because they have a completely different little feel to them. One's more bright and aquatic. You can wear it pretty much very well during the summer, but Le Beau Le Parfum is perfect year-round, but still an incredible, like, more sensual, I would almost say, more good evening time summer fragrance or something like that. And then Versace Eros Energy is good. And then I would probably definitely say the Capri and Love, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, or what would I say? I really like, I'm so sorry. I really like something, depending on the feel that you're going for, maybe Paragon by Initio. That's a really good one if you don't mind spending a little bit of extra money. A lot of different things like that. I get Blue Raspberry. The Moon is top 5. I have to check that out. Your favorite is Oud Silk Mood. So Oud Silk Mood is my favorite. I like Oud Satin Mood, but Oud Silk Mood is my favorite. By the way, just throwing this out there, if you guys are new to my streams, I'm Andrew Douglas Moon. When I do fragrance content, I try my best to keep up with everybody's comments. I'm not a professional. I just like to hang out with you guys, talk about fragrances. Nobody sponsors me. I buy all these, so I just tell you my real thoughts. I do my best. If I miss your comment, don't spam, but please feel free to re-comment once or twice if I try to keep up with you, because I appreciate everybody who stops through here. I truly do. May is here. What's up, May? I hope that you guys are having a fantastic night. You guys are all hanging out. We're going to bed because it's 11. Well, hey, I hope you guys get some fantastic sleep, and I appreciate you so much for even taking the time to stop through and say, hey, it means a lot to me, and I hope that life has been beautiful for you and your entire family. So thank you. It's a good powdery Jamie Rose. Very good stuff. And what's up, my friend? Just now commenting, hey, thank you for popping through here. Like I said, if anybody's got any general fragrance questions, please feel free to ask. I know I'm always blocking. I don't know if I should like stay out of the way, but I know I'm always blocking my dupes and stuff, my little cheapies over here. It definitely makes it seem like I am not proud of these in any way, shape, or form. Just going to throw this out there. I'm not really proud of them very much, but I do like them. Explain the Silver Mountain Water. Well, what I think about Lattafa, I'll answer you real quick, my friend. I think that Lattafa does okay. I do not think that they are a completely knock it out the park brand. They just do decent sometimes. At the end of the day, they sort of have a handful that are really cool, really good, but for the most part, they're just not the best performing to me personally. There's other brands that do better for the price range, but I think Lattafa does pretty decent. I just think they pump out way too much, too frequently. Silver Mountain Water, I actually really like Silver Mountain Water. It's my favorite next to Milsom Imperial. It's my favorite of all Creeds, although I'm not a Creed guy. They do not have very good performance, especially batches these days, but I just really wanted to have a classic bottle I normally steer people towards Club de Nuit Sillage because it just does a really good job. It's more synthetic, but it does a good take on it. But I still love the original. It's just a beautiful melon, just a nice, good summertime feel to me, springtime, summertime. How do you like Kismet Magic versus Angel? Well, to be real with you, I actually do not like it. I have it. I got it. I would say that if you want something that's very much like Angel Share compared to a Hamra or anything like that, I would say actually Kismet Magic's like probably the best you can do to get it to be like the original Angel Share. On the other hand, I'm not a huge Angel Share fan. I like some things by that company, Kilian, but at the same time, yeah, Angel Share is just not really my style. With that being said, though, if you do like it a lot, if you really want a true to the core syrupy sweet Angel Share DNA, I would steer you towards Kismet Magic, just being honest. So it's a little bit more in that vein. It's a little bit more cheaper, but I think it'll give you that job if that's what you really wanted. Best perfume for 16-year-olds? If you don't mind me asking, what do you do apart from YouTube? That's actually a good question. So to answer my other friend real fast, best perfume for 16-year-olds. There's a lot of things that go all over the place. I kind of steer towards people, maybe start you off nice with Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. Get the Eau Intense, the Eau de Parfum. It's a really good summertime, like soft, beautiful fragrance, but good for a 16-year-old. Or, and again, if you're new to this, Eau de Parfum is something that you'll see, EDP or Eau de Toilette, and then Parfum, just the word at the bottom of any fragrance. Go for that one. If you get something like Versace Eros. So Versace Eros, any one of them really for a 16-year-old. Or Dylan Blue is a good classics, and then Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, pretty good fragrances. With my friend here asking me what I do outside of YouTube. So technically speaking, I'm still not really getting paid by YouTube just yet. Strange, I know, but I just recently, they just like somehow, they sent me a freaking play button, but at the same time, they just approved me to start getting super chats, which one of my wonderful friends over at Sensual Obsessions, who literally like is the one who I got my own personal fragrance. It's not for sale or nothing. I just got it for me, but they're awesome, super wonderful company. He sent me my first ever super chat. So that was cool. But so I don't even get paid doing this. I just buy fragrances and do reviews and hang out with you guys. But for me personally, I actually work for a company. It's a candle maker supply company. So we supply we in-house make all the fragrances, the wax. We don't make the wax. We actually get that from the UK. But the wax we ship of all different kinds in bulk and in cheaper supply jars. And then every single thing, wicks and everything. Everything that a person from a professional candle making companies could do, we supply that. So it's a huge company, multi-million-dollar company. And I love working for them. They're fantastic people. So that's pretty much what I do. And who knows, I might be there till I retire or whatever. Because I can assure you this, even when I start getting paid for real from YouTube, it's not going to be enough that I could ever do this full time. So that's why I hang out with you guys whenever I get a chance. But everybody who watches these things, you're more than welcome to ask me anything you ever want. Riff's Memento, to be completely honest with you, it's still just not that fantastic. It's okay. I don't absolutely love it. The scent profile is just not necessarily my style, but it performs okay, but it's not a monster. A lot of people push this as like a monster. They do, but it's not. It's not a gigantic monster for me personally. Best cheapie? Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm going to have to get back to you on that in just a second. What was the syrupy one that you mentioned? So Glittertastic, fantastic name. Love to see you here. That would be this one. So the original Angel Share by Kilian. That's the one I always call like a very syrupy date syrup type of fragrance. But Kismet Magic, I think it used to be Kismet Angel. It's Kismet Magic, Kismet. To me personally, I don't like either one of them. But that's to me, the best rendition if you're going to get a cheaper version of like straight up Angel Share. Because I don't think Lattafa Hamra, it doesn't really feel like Angel Share to me. I know a lot of people want to say it does, but it's not. Kismet Magic's more that realm. Hamra is its own kind of thing, and I like it. It's one of the Lattafas that like I really do enjoy. So to my friend who asked me earlier, so actually, you know what? Real quick, I won't answer. Which clone brands do you think does the best getting close to the originals? And you should get a chair is standing for so long. No, I actually like it. I appreciate your care. I appreciate that. I don't know any clones for Paragon or just yet. What do you think of the industry is going towards? More new creations? That's a fantastic question. So we're going to get to that right now. So I'm going to throw this out there. Try to answer a few things at one time here. Best cheap fragrance? That's a tough one because it really depends what you're going for. But I will say Hot Lodge does pretty good. Again, like nobody's sponsoring me for any of this junk, so I'm just going to tell you straight up. Sensual Obsessions makes good stuff. I think that Hot Lodge does really well. I haven't got my bottle yet, but I've been told that it's fantastic. My buddy Sam's got my bottle right now. I got all the Hawasses, but the new Hawass, the tropical one, he's got that at his house, and he said it's actually really good. But honestly, little stuff like Hot Lodge's Island, it's a really good fragrance. Hot Lodge, if you don't know how to spell it, I'll spell it for you in just a second. I think that if you're very young, getting the classic Hawass or Hawass Ice or stuff like this by Arabiat Prestige, My Dad Dahab, I think that that's a really good cheap fragrance, but it's kind of hard for me. I don't really think I have an absolute favorite cheaply. Some of my favorite cheaper fragrances comes from companies like Mancera, but they're still not really cheapies. But to be honest with you, where I think the industry is going, I actually am not really happy with where, like, especially if we're going to talk about the internet fragrance industry. So I'm just throwing this out there. And these are my opinions. And if you disagree, that's fine. Again, I'm not a professional. I'm just a guy who loves fragrances and stuff, right? But so I'm not sponsored. So like I said, people don't send me junk. I buy it. And to be completely real, there is like a machine work coming out right now, just dupes upon dupes upon dupes. And I think that worse than ever, because these companies are seeing through TikTok and through YouTube that you guys, not you guys watching, but there's people in general in the fragrance community are like thirsting, dying, hungry for like everything that comes out to be duped. Like as soon as something new comes out, you guys want it real bad. You want the best dupe. The issue then becomes all these companies with way less quality material. It's not like you're getting really cheap stuff for an incredible quality, right? A lot of work, time, and love goes into making these fragrances. Now, I'm not going to sit and pretend, like Tom Ford, for instance, mass produces a lot of crap these days. I still like some Tom Fords. Ombre Leather Parfum is always going to be one of my favorite, Oud Wood, stuff like that. The new Black Lacquer was cool. But I'm just throwing this out there. With cheaper companies, it just like French Avenue, Fragrance World, like all this different stuff, whatever. You are getting a bunch of mass-produced cheap stuff, and you guys are eating it up. No offense to anybody watching this. I don't literally mean you as a person, but in the fragrance community, you guys are eating it up. And here's the problem, right? Instead of saving all your money and getting like 5 really, really beautifully good quality fragrances that were handcrafted by excellent perfumers, you guys throw away hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands more dollars over time just buying the next thing that a TikToker or a YouTuber is throwing at you. So for instance, this guy right here, right? The Vulcan Few. Everybody went cuckoo bananas about this because every douchebag on TikTok was throwing it in your face and saying, this is fantastic. It's the best. Absolute monster performer. Wow. And it's not. It really is not. It's okay. It's decent. Even the original wasn't that great, but the performance on this is garbage compared to what people kept saying it was. But that's the problem. They get free stuff. They are sent free things. They don't pay for these. I'm not saying that somebody like me should be even more trustworthy because I don't pay for them. I mean, because I do pay for them, so you should trust me more. I'm saying that these guys who don't pay for their stuff, they get free fragrances. They are being paid good money actually to tell you guys how awesome the stuff is. And I'm even starting to notice those people are saying the same stuff that I'm saying. I'm even starting to notice these guys who are selling all this crap to you, who get paid, get commissioned for this. Now they're also saying the same stuff you hear me saying. They're like, by the way, I'd tell you if it sucked. They're not, though. They won't do that because they would lose their money if they did that. So I know that it seems like I'm being a hater, but I really love fragrances and I care about you guys spending your money. By the way, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. And also, I agree with you. Sales fragrance is very ironic. The fact that a guy, look, I don't sell fragrances, my friend. I don't know what you're saying, PX. But no, I do not sell fragrances myself. I just do fragrance reviews. So with that being said, I don't know if you're just passing judgment, but whatever. Anyways, very confused about my career, going to CS degree, formality. I want to become an actor. Will make me happy. That is very tough, my friend. I really appreciate you taking the time to share about what's going on with you. It's really hard, like when you're trying to go down the career path to figure out what you want out of life. But it's difficult. To figure out who you want to be in general can be kind of tough because there's so many things pushed in front of you, what you need to accomplish by XYZ age at this point. So a lot of times we feel like we're never really caught up. So I would just tell you, please take some time to pray. If you do, I don't know if you do. I'm not trying to push that on you, but just complimenting. I listen to your Bible studies. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. But again, I wasn't trying to hate on you or anything. It's just when you said it was ironic. So I read these comments very fast. So yeah, I appreciate you so much for being here, and I thank you for coming through for the Bible studies. Again, sometimes I get really on a roll and I read something quickly. And by the way, Nautica Voyage, it's a really good classic cheapie for somebody who's younger. But thank you for being here. Now, I don't sell fragrances. I do work for a company that does that for candle makers and stuff and house spray makers. But these guys right here, I just review them and talk about them. But I'm very, very sorry for saying something that sounds that way, or if it came off in any way, shape, or form aggressive. I'm super sorry for that. But no, like in all seriousness, just to finish that thought that I was saying real quick. Now, I really do. Like you guys who like are into perfumery and stuff like that, just like me, I feel for you guys because I myself have bought like a handful of these boys right here to review for y'all or to talk about because people that I try to trust on TikTok or something will say how awesome it is. But guess what? Dupes are getting expensive. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the supply is being met with the demand hardcore. And so as the demand is going up and you guys are gobbling up everything that pops out, it's getting hard to see at this point. Like this bad boy right here, this was like $70 or something. I think $80. Some people are paying for this. That's crazy. This is a dupe, okay? It's a cheapie. And the quality of the ingredients is garbage compared to like so many other things you can get your hands on. So just please, if I would encourage you guys to do anything, try to take some time, cool back from the stuff that you see. Let me throw this. Nautica. No, sorry. Yeah, Nautica is a pretty decent fragrance. That's what it is. It's Nautica. And it's pretty cool for like a classic, cheaper fragrance to get your hands on. I love Arabian perfumes, but they are a crapshoot. Absolutely. Arabian perfumes are up in the air. It really depends on which ones that you get your hands on. Obviously, you don't have to go for like, Amouage is an Arabian company, technically speaking, and they're very expensive, and not all of them are fantastic. Some of them are really wonderful. I love them. They're very unique and distinct. Some of them I definitely don't think are worth what they are. But again, it's subjective. But when it comes to like you guys, buying all these and like buying so many of these dupes and stuff, it breaks my heart because people are throwing away thousands of dollars on dupes to build this giant collection. Because again, a lot of other fragrance creators are like trying to push on you that you got to have the next big thing. You guys got to keep up. And it's never going to stop. I hope you realize that. There will never be enough fragrances coming out from these dupe companies. So I just want you to understand that. They're going to keep pushing crap at you. So just please take it easy. Just please. And for me, expensive hobbies or profession. Yeah, so like for me, beautifully answered. Thank you. And I want to someday create my own blends. And I definitely encourage you to do that. But for me personally, I've just started this collection just for the sake of like, I wanted to do reviews. I've always been making videos for a very long time. I like talking to people and connecting and stuff like that through video and also in person. But just throwing this out there, by the way, if somebody, not that I'm not going to tell you guys exactly where I live, but if I ever do run into any of you guys in public, if you ever somehow see me, even if me and my wife, if we get the chance, we save up some money and go travel. If any one of you guys ever see me and you want to come say, hey, please don't be shy. Don't ever feel shy to do that. If you live in the United States, if you live anywhere, like I'm not going to tell you exactly where, but I do live in North Carolina. If you guys live anywhere near the United States, or if we're out traveling somewhere, I'd love to go to India one day, different places like that. Please feel free to come up and say hey to me and don't feel shy or anything like that. But I appreciate you stopping through here. And yeah, fragrances are very, very expensive. So sorry if my voice sounds horrible again, by the way, just throwing this out there, but I am getting through a cold. But I'd love to come see you guys and hang out in India with you, my friend. So if that chance ever comes up, please, I'd be more than happy to say hey. But yeah, I'm sorry for going on that long rant about these dupes and cheapies and stuff like that. There are some good ones, like, again, Sensual Obsessions, Eagle Star, or Hod Lodge's Vanilla Dunes. I got to give them a lot of respect. This is a fantastic fragrance. This is one of those ones that I recommend like crazy to people because it actually does perform. It actually does smell great. But there are a lot of companies coming out with stuff that's just kind of pointless to me. I don't see the point. I don't see why they did it, but I do, but it's just not. Dupes are good for DNA that you like, though. That's true. If it's something that you really like and you want to preserve it. For instance, I will say, so Shiaka by Hod Lodge, this is supposed to be kind of like a reflection by Almawage type of deal because I love reflections and I want to save it or savor it, basically, or my wife really likes to blend it with her Black Opium. She has the Black Opium Glitter Edition by YSL. I think that's who it is. So having something like this, which is a pretty decent, close enough, and it was very cheap. I think it was like $21, something like that. I can recommend. It's when you guys are out here, like I said, buying these $60 dupes, these $70 dupes. That's when it starts to become just absolutely ridiculous. Hamra is actually really good. Just throwing it out there. The Dukan. Not Duke. Is it Dukan? Wait. No, that's the newest one, I believe. I like the Kawa. Hamra Kawa. That's the one I think is the best one with the Q. As an older brother, what advice will you give me? This career tension is eating me from the inside. So actually, you know what, my friends? You guys are more than welcome to keep asking fragrance questions, but I do want to give you some like advice the best that I can. So my friend here, I definitely would tell you that for your sake of your mental health and your physical health, you've got to take some time. You really got to take some time to go for some walks. Please, if nothing else, start with going for walks. That's what, when I first got sober from drinking and drugs and stuff like that, it's been 7 years now. When I first did that, I started going for walks every day. And I was going for like 1 to 4 mile walks, any chance I can get myself to do so. And I would just pray. Again, I know that we're not necessarily in the same belief realm. I'm not sure exactly what your belief system is, but, you know, for me personally, I would just say to pray, to just start doing that, to say out loud the things, you know, that you're feeling. For me personally, I'm gonna word it this way because I am a Christian, but to talk out loud to God. No offense to you, like whatever your belief system is, but to spend time just walking and just expressing, and to just kind of sit in that and to think about what it is you really want out of life. Because I know it's a competitive situation, especially, I don't remember how old you are, but my friend, definitely, I'll even be praying for you, and we're going to do that as I come to the close of this stream. I always pray for everybody who comes through and watches, like, no offense to your differing beliefs and stuff. I'm not here to argue, but I know that it's extremely painful when you're trying to figure out what you want to do with yourself as a career, being pulled in different directions. I will tell you this, a lot of times you do got to start somewhere. You're going to, like, the more you study something, or the more you try to understand, like, what's the perfect decision to make, what's the best way to go. Sometimes the more you do that, the more you're going to overall just push yourself farther away from making a decision. So again, I'm not a professional or anything. I'm just trying to help our friend here. But sometimes the more that you struggle, the more that you try to come to understand something, what should I do? What should I do? The farther away from making a choice you actually end up becoming. And sometimes you just got to sit and say, you know what? Which one of these choices would be too permanent for me, maybe? Or which one of these choices seems like it just doesn't feel good to me in my gut if I go with it? And maybe there's something that you could just pick and do in the meantime and go down that road while you can still focus on doing other things, like working towards other things. It's a difficult balance here. And let's see what my husband brought me black over red for my birthday last year. Absolutely. That's awesome, buddy. I'm happy that you appreciate it, that you like it, and that you're getting a kick out of it. But yeah, my friend, like, I'm super sorry that you're having to go through that tension, but please get yourself some peace. Try to find yourself some long walking space and quiet, and really just roll over the concepts, because it will continue to eat at you and cause anxiety, and just making decisions can be so difficult. But I send oceans of love to you, and like I said, I'm gonna be keeping you in my thoughts, because I've been there way too many times in my life. And again, I don't know how old you are, but we definitely go through an incredible amount of feeling like we're competing even with ourselves and with other people in the world these days. Lattafa for a 16-year-old. I think Lattafa for a 16-year-old is a really good choice, depending on which one you get. So definitely, I think that Kawa, Hamra Kawa would be a good choice for a 16-year-old, or Lattafa Assad, probably a pretty good choice for a 16-year-old. But yeah, I appreciate everybody who's taking the time to come through here tonight and hang out. I don't know what time it is where you guys are, but again, if you're new here, if you're not, I'm sorry for sounding a little funny. I've been getting over a cold. I'm Andrew Douglas Moon. You guys are welcome here anytime. I do a lot of different stuff here. I definitely started off and continue to be, technically speaking, a fragrance channel where I talk about review fragrances and stuff, and you guys are welcome to see, like, the weekly reviews. By the way, real quick, after 9 p.m., I have a really good young person's fragrance. I don't like it anymore myself. I don't wear it anymore myself because it's a little bit more strongly youthful, but I think that for somebody your age, it would actually be fantastic as well. This bad boy, if you would like something in that range, this actually shocked me a little bit. Rayhan, this is was it Lion? Yeah, Rayhan's Lion. If you want something in that realm, I think this is a really good choice for you. So RAYHAAN. Again, I'm not sponsored. These guys just do a really good job. Some of these over here, horrible performance. This actually does pretty decent. It's not amazing. It's not Dior Sauvage or nothing like that. But for a younger person, I think this is a pretty good choice. Thank you so much. I actually realize I don't necessarily have to do one thing for the rest of my life. And you absolutely don't. You do not have to do one thing for the rest of your life. I'm going to be real with you. One of the biggest curses that comes from some of the older generations that we had is people feeling that they had to stick to one career their entire life from start to finish. And then so many people ended up like physically breaking down and sick and dealing with so much pain and agony for doing things like that, instead of realizing like, you can realize I'm getting burnt out. It's time to maybe do a pivot, do a career switch. So please, my friend, don't think that you got to really just be absolutely stuck with whatever it is that you're going for. If you try something, if you go for something and it doesn't seem to really feel right, it doesn't really work, that's okay. If there comes a time when you've got to, I know you're in a different culture and stuff, so maybe it might not work the same. I don't know exactly how things work there, but I do know that in general, it's going to be okay for you if you end up feeling like you need to make a switch. I'm also glad we get to have this time together. When I do these streams, you guys come, we talk about fragrances, you guys ask questions. But again, like as a guy who I myself have 2 children, and they're entering, well, my son is a teenager and my daughter's going to be heading that way very soon. So I care about all you people who come through. I sincerely mean that. So if you ever got stuff you want to ask questions about, I might not be able to give you perfect advice, but I do want to try it to help if there's any way that I can, because I care about you guys and I appreciate it. So, and I hope you're having a wonderful night, you guys. So definitely happy 4th of July. And if anybody's got any more questions, if y'all want to talk about anything else, please feel free to ask, because I have not done a fragrance stream in like, I don't know, 2 weeks, a week and a half for sure. So any of these things you want to know about. But again, I titled this to bring it all back to the core. I titled this like designers are better than niche. Obviously, I don't completely just say that there's no niche that are better. Technically speaking, my favorite fragrance is Xerjoff's Naxos, and this is considered niche perfumery, although I think it could technically be like, you know, anybody could love this. I haven't met a single person yet. I'm not saying that you watching don't disagree. I haven't met anybody yet who doesn't like Naxos, but my goodness gracious, this is definitely my comfort fragrance. I leaned back in for a while of La Malle Le Parfum being my absolute favorite, but now I realized, you know what? Yeah, Xerjoff's Naxos is definitely going to reign supreme, probably for the rest of my life. I don't know if anything's ever going to take its place, although we do gear shift, you know, things that are our personal taste do shift from time to time. For just a teeny little bit of time, the new Saffron Secret by Maison Crivelli was like, all right, I love this. I'm absolutely cuckoo puffs about that. But this one ended up definitely taking the cake again for me. So I think this is my favorite. But in the grand scheme of things, though, you just cannot go wrong with Eros Flame, Eros Energy. How's that Oud Mineral treating you? To be honest with you, it is really good. I think it is a fantastic summer fragrance. It's fun, too, because the name Oud Mineral, I like that they named it that. I like that it has like a mineral name to it, because it's weird that they named it perfect. The person who, I don't even know who was behind this. I'm going to need to look it up. But it's weird that they named it perfectly because it smells mineral. I don't know if that makes any sense, but if you get the chance to smell it, if you can go to a near store where they got Tom Ford's and you can smell Oud Mineral, you'll get what I'm saying, that it has like a mineral feel to it. It smells like being near like a nice clean river, not one of those murky, muddy rivers, but a nice clean river where like clearish water has been trickling on the rocks, and you're sitting there and there's like the good types of different graphite stuff, different rocks, and you can just, oh, this is a beautiful fragrance. It's not for everybody. I'm going to go ahead and throw that out there. It actually smells a lot like it looks, very bronze, but I think this is a fantastic summer fragrance. Pacific Chill, good for summer. So Leon, thanks for asking. I definitely am going to show you my bias here. I'm very much not a Louis Vuitton fan. Just throwing it out there. I like dense, very good performing fragrances. Not always, but definitely when it comes down to it, Louis Vuittons are very expensive for what you get. So there are other people who watch normally, other of my buddies here in the chat who are into stuff like Pacific Chill and Imagination. I have nothing against that. You know, everybody's to each their own, but I will say Pacific Chill is just not a great performer, and I think it's overhyped, overexpensive, and it's not the most unique scent ever. So I think that it's decent for summer, but I wouldn't really recommend it because of the amount that you have to pay to get your hands on it. So it's just my opinion. So again, no offense to anybody, but that's just, you know, happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, my friend. And you don't have to be sorry if you discuss already what's your opinion on Tarathi Electric. So with that being said, I actually have not got my nose on it yet. So because of the two funerals, because of 2 deaths in the family, and also getting sick, I actually haven't been able to see Sam, my buddy from work, and get my bottle yet. So he's got my new Hawash, the tropical one. I don't remember what the name of it. It might be Hawash Tropical, but he's got my bottle of that. He's got he says he likes that. He actually smelled Tarathi Electric. He said he likes it more than Tarathi Blue, but it still performs like trash. That's what he said. With that being said, what's curious to know? I missed something here. What's your top summer fragrance? Top summer fragrance, I'm definitely going to go ahead and tell you now. That's going to be Le Beau Le Parfum. Interchangeable with Paradise Garden, but Le Beau Le Parfum is absolutely magical summer fragrance. What one fragrance smells the best to you? Oh, absolutely. My favorite fragrance is definitely Xerjoff's Naxos. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm missing some people's comments. Would you recommend YSL La Nuit Eau de Toilette 25? Honestly, not really personally, Jerobo. Like metallic, kind of, sort of, yeah. Le Beau is pretty good for the price, though, right? Yes, it is. So, Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Beau Le Parfum is absolutely incredible. It's a monster performer. Paradise Garden is fantastic. It's more aquatic. It's not redundant to have both. It's a fantastic performer, but I will say that it's not as loud. So Le Beau Le Parfum is crazy. It's very bright, very strong, and you can wear it also. Something about it, even though it is a summery fragrance, it has a uniqueness, a woodsy feel almost to it that you can wear it all year long. So that's why I prefer it. Paradise Garden is definitely much more of a summery thing, but you know, they're both fantastic. But I definitely am sorry for my losses. Hey, thank you. It definitely happens, but we're getting through it. But the night is afternoon swim. See, one of my good buddies here, Diego, rocking that Louis Vuitton. And thank you for coming through. I definitely have a lot of fragrances. So I've been, and by the way, to my friend here, I haven't tried the Billie Eilish perfume. I know a friend of mine from work has it. She says she likes it. She also likes like Ariana Grande's, was it Cloud? And I will say, I smell that on her, and I do like that one. Pretty decent. They're not my style. I wouldn't wear them myself. My wife definitely wouldn't wear them. Scent of the day, imagination. Look at you guys out here rocking the Louis Vuittons. You guys are definitely funny because I think that's awesome that y'all like those. Those are great. I was just literally saying how I'm not a Louis Vuitton guy, but no hate against anybody who likes them. So, but again, I just cannot stress enough. I appreciate every one of you guys who comes through, takes the time to ask questions. It means a lot to me because otherwise, I wouldn't have anybody to talk to. I'd look like a crazy person standing here talking to myself. I can only imagine my wife just coming in here to open up the closet door and I'm just talking to a blank phone. But also, it's been nice to just get the chance to have any conversation with all you guys out there because I have missed doing fragrance streams. I've been keeping up. You know, everybody of all walks of life is welcome to my channel. I never try to push out anyone because everybody's welcome here. I do frequently do, like, as a Christian, I do Bible study streams for anybody who wants to join. But when we do fragrance streams and stuff, I'm never pushing that stuff on you guys because, like I said, everybody's welcome here. Do still want to know if any of you guys are curious because even though I am a Christian and I do legitimate Bible study streams and biblical study streams, I was curious. I'm never here to argue and debate with anybody. You'll never see me do that. If you start doing that, you get blocked from the chat. Because if you're being disrespectful to me or anyone, not going to do that. It's a waste of time. But if you guys would also like to be a part of doing studies just for religious studies purposes, the Bhagavad Gita, or also respectfully going through the Quran together, if you guys would ever like to do that, I'd love to do that with you. My rendition would be in English, of course, but if you guys are interested in belief systems like I am, I would love to have you join that if you think it would be okay. If you guys would find that disrespectful, specifically with the Quran and stuff, if you guys would find that disrespectful, then I won't do that. Afternon Rare Reef has been getting a lot of hype. Yes, it has. I have not got to smell that yet. Rare Carbon, I actually really like it. Have not got to smell Rare Reef just yet. BDK, fantastic fragrance, Milan, fantastic. Afternon is a good fragrance company. What's your favorite and second favorite JPG? Favorite JPG, 100% going to be, I'm going to go with La Mer Le Parfum. La Mer Le Parfum is my favorite, and then the second place is the Elixir, and then Le Beau Le Parfum. Those are my favorite JPGs. And yes, Afternon. Afternon's great. So I'm going to show you, not every Afternon is off the chain. Just throwing it out there. Like I said, Tarathi Blue, it's decent, but it's not fantastic. But this baby. And also, where is it? I really love this bin. I don't really care too much for Supremacy in Heaven, but Supremacy Collector's Edition's fantastic. Nice choices. And this, yeah, and I appreciate you. Thank you for asking. But this bad boy, Rare Carbon, is a fantastic fragrance. I gotta say, as a guy who absolutely loves, in my top 10 fragrances features the original Ombre Leather Parfum, this one reminds me a lot of the EDP. And I gotta say, it does have pretty good performance too. It lasted a lot longer than I thought it was going to. But yeah, Supremacy Collector's Edition is a fantastic take. It's supposed to be like Creed Aventus Absolute with the apple and bergamot additions to the original formula. It's great. Best fresh one? Fresh. If I was to really go with a pure, like fresh, bright fragrance, honestly, I normally, to me, this is a fresh fragrance. I'm going to go with Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Eau Intense. Is like a real, like when I think fresh, I kind of get like a spritz of sea salt. And it's probably not for everybody. I think like a spritz of bright, fresh sea salt or even clean linen. So something also like Silver Mountain Water. Note profile. We're not talking about performance here, but you know, if performance was off the game, I would say Silver Mountain Water has a good feel to it. Toy Boy is a really good one, and then Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Eau Intense. But you might very much disagree with this, very much. But like, baby, I was like, so Milan, that's so funny that you say that. That is actually hilarious that you say that, because I was about to say something that's completely opposite. Well, not really. I was about to say something though. To me, this is a very fresh fragrance, and I was going to say 40 knots is actually my personal favorite. If I was going to say like a fresh fragrance, it's very fresh to me, very bright, very clean. And I will actually say this is one of my favorite fragrances of all times, but it does have like a baby wipe feel to it. Sorry, got to make soup supper for the family. Hey, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night. And I just appreciate the fact that you even took the time to stop through and talk. So I hope you and your family have a wonderful dinner. Thank you to everybody who's come through. I appreciate you guys so much. See, definitely. But this has, I can see where you get the baby white feel from. Another reason why I was scared about my career was that I live in India, and it's currently the country maximum amount of people. Probably. Oh man, that sucks. I'm sorry that like that you have to go through those things like culturally and stuff. I'm sorry that you as well deal with a lot of anxiety and tension and stuff. So it's definitely not unusual to deal with like career fear. But like I said, I'm gonna be keeping you in my thoughts, and like for whatever it's worth, keeping you in my thoughts and prayers. And you just, like I said, take things one step at a time. That's the best you can do. Douglas thinking about Grease Dior, my first Dior Preve. So I have not gotten my nose on that one, but I will say that people that I look up to, like sincerely in the fragrance game, are big fans of that. And I actually look forward to you getting it, because I was going to add it to my list and you telling me, Diego, what you think about it. So please, if you get your nose on that and you get the chance to, tell me what you think. Tell me how it goes. I'd love to hear about it. I'm so sorry, you guys. If anybody new pops through here, I'm Andrew Douglas Moon. I do fragrance reviews, but I do so much more. And I'm personally getting through a cold, so I'm going to sound a little funny and make some noises. YSL, so definitely EDP. Milo or Milo, I don't know which one it is. That was definitely the EDP situation for me personally. Afton's Collector's Edition Overly Sweet. It actually is not. It has a sweetness to it, but I think, well, I can see that somebody might find this a little bit too sweet because of the apple notes and the strongness of the bergamot. But to me personally, it's not that sweet. It's not too much. It's not like an angel share or anything like that. I think it's actually really fantastic. I love it. It's fruity. Ooh, well, I would definitely have to get my nose on that as soon as I have the opportunity to do so. That sounds fantastic. But yeah, Why Intense is my favorite. Fantastic, my friend Enrique. Super happy to see you here. It reminds me of my mom. Lotion she used to use a long time ago. That's cool. I'll definitely have to check it out as soon as I can. Well, again, to anybody new who's popping through, Andrew Douglas Moon, do all kinds of stuff, but at the same time, mostly I'm also doing these fragrance reviews and talking with you guys. Also, just a reminder to new people, I buy all these myself. I'm not sponsored, so if you guys have any questions, I do the best to give you my honest thoughts and opinions. If there's any fragrances that I don't, if you ask about and I don't know, any of my buddies here in the chat are more than welcome to help if they can. Is Italica by Xerjoff leaning more feminine? Ooh, that's a tough one, Joshua, because it's a little bit subjective, but it's kind of like, Herba Pura and stuff like that. I would say a lot of people think that those are a little bit more on the feminine lean, but me personally, I think they're kind of like straight more in the unisex line, but I could see how people would find them to be a little bit more feminine. So I think it just depends on the person. It's kind of hard to compare, but I would say a little, just a smidge, just a pinch, but for the most part, fairly unisex. I'm thinking about getting a niche and having to, do you recommend getting it? I actually do not even remember what that smells like at this point. I have not gotten my nose on that one in so long. It's crazy. It could be worth it though. It sucks because I smell that a friend of mine had that bottle a long time ago, and I don't even have any niche at this point in my collection. There was one though that I was told was a dupe of that I heard is actually pretty good, and I'm thinking about getting that when I can. I think, is it Spectre? Something like that. I think that's supposed to be a dupe of that, and I wanted to check it out and see if it's actually worth what I've heard. But who knows? But I'm sorry that I couldn't help you out. Like I said, I just haven't smelled it in so long, I don't remember. what do you think is the best Stronger With You? Personally, like intensely, but a lot of people like Parfum. So I will say this. My actual personal favorite that I actually bought a full bottle of is the Parfum, but I'm starting to grow away from it. Intensely is my favorite, my second place. And then the sandalwood, and then absolutely, that's just my personal opinion of the hierarchy when it comes to the Stronger With You line. But I will definitely say Intensely is fantastic. Spectre Ghost is the dupe. Okay, cool. Thank you, Phantom. I definitely want to know if anybody smelled Spectre Ghost. Let me know if you think it's any good or not, because I thought about getting it. But yeah, Stronger With You, I definitely recently haven't been feeling too pulled towards it. I was crazy about it when the Parfum first came out, just like I was when the Intensely first came out. And I wore it quite a bit. And I wore myself out on it. And honestly, that definitely shows me when something's not going to ever come close to my top 10 is something getting worn out for me. Very rarely does it happen with a fragrance, but I realize that it's not something I can wear too much because of the sweetness to it, but I think it's a fantastic fragrance. But I know a lot of people do love Intensely, but definitely the Parfum is my personal favorite of the bunch. By the way, again, I'm super sorry for if you guys hear me breathing a little too much. I'm still getting past the cold. I know I've repeated that a lot, but to new people, just trying not to drive you crazy. Most expensive fragrance in my collection. This is not going to be too much of a shocker, but to be real with you, by volume, I'm probably still going to stick with Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait de Parfum. It's just expensive. There's no getting around it. I love this company. Like I said, in my top 5, Oud Silk Mood Extrait de Parfum is one of my favorites of all time, but there's no way to get it past it. Like Baccarat Rouge 540 is very expensive, even off of dupes, not dupes, even off of like discounter sites and stuff to get the Extrait de Parfum. So this is probably going to be my most expensive that I own. But I have seen a few companies that have even more expensive fragrances that I have some of, but just not that I have that bottle. I smell personally not a fan of. They're very, very spicy. I can definitely. Okay, thank you for letting me know that, buddy. The Breaker 4444. That makes me think I want a 444 from Wendy's. But thank you for letting me know and commenting that. But yeah, it's a nice fragrance, but I agree the Extrait is very pricey. Yes, it is. It is insane. Do you have any Maison Margiela fragrances? I do not. And I have not smelled Beach Walk, I don't believe. So that is a company who I've smelled a lot of the stuff when I was at, what is it, Sephora? Something like that not very long ago. Just was not like a big enough of a fan that I thought, you know what, I'm going to get my hands on an actual full bottle of this. But by the way, just throwing this out there, I'm starting to feel like after doing this stream, I can definitely feel the pressure starting to get in my head from the sickness to whatever. So I am going to go ahead and end this stream soon. But I am going to tomorrow, probably early in the morning, if I get the opportunity to do so. I'm going to be doing another, not that a lot of you guys are going to care about this, but anybody who does, who happens to ever join the Bible study streams, I'm going to be doing one of those tomorrow. And also, I really would love you guys' thoughts and opinions about the other stuff that I'm thinking about reading from during certain streams, because I wouldn't want to do it if you guys think it'd be disrespectful. But does the Extrait from Baccarat smell similar to the OG? It smells kind of, it does have a similarity to it, but for me personally, I prefer the Extrait. Do you wear Oud Silk Mood when you go out for a nice dinner? Honestly, I wear Oud Silk Mood whenever. I love that fragrance. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope you feel better. It's okay. I appreciate y'all. Stronger With You, smoky Parma ham and pineapple. No way. No way. The gym. That's actually really funny. Have a good night. I appreciate you, Jacob. Every single one of you guys who stopped through here, thank you so very much for taking the time to ask questions. You guys are more than welcome to come through at any time. If you ever want to join the other streams that I do, when we do the readings and the studies and stuff like that, you're more than welcome to come for that. Just throwing this out there. Please feel free if you don't want to join into this, but continue to ask questions if you would like. I end all of my streams with a prayer. So no matter who you are or what you believe in or don't believe in, you're more than welcome to join if you would like to. But if you just want to scroll away now, that's fine. Or if you just want to keep asking questions while I do it, that's fine too. But like I said, I end all my streams with a prayer. Not trying to argue with anybody or nothing like that. It's just what I do. So I'm about to do that. But best fresh fragrance, for me personally, I really love me some good old-fashioned Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue O Intense, stuff like that. Really like Paragon is a really good one by Initio. Silver Mountain Water is a really good one. So stuff like that. But I like, I definitely really prefer, although Paradise Garden kind of counts as a fresh, it is a fresh fragrance, but I think of like Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue O Intense. John Barbados does something. Versace Pour Homme. Hey, Kia, super happy to see you, my friend. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do my little prayer real fast. You guys are more than welcome to keep asking questions. But to answer Milo, I'm not the biggest fan of that fragrance. You just asked for Versace. So, dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for all these beautiful people who've come through to talk. Thank you for giving me the ability to just have as much time as I've had. And you've helped me get through this sickness. And I love you, Lord, for sustaining me and all these beautiful people who've asked questions. I pray for peace and blessings and wonder in their life, and that they just come to know your grace and your mercy and how wonderful they are, and whatever plans and purposes that they are meant for. I hope they know that they are not worthless, that they have so much value, and so much that they have to offer to just themselves, their communities, and everybody around them. And if anybody's made them feel small, if anybody worthless, Lord, I hope that they just know that that couldn't be less from the truth. So I just pray for blessings and peace in their hearts and souls, and I pray your will be done in their lives. And I lift everything up to you in the precious name of Jesus. Amen, Lord. So thank you guys for stopping through. I love y'all so much, and I appreciate. I sincerely, it means a lot to me. It's not been the easiest thing, still being sick, to get through during this, but I've missed y'all. So now that I can at least smell quite a bit better, I wanted to come through and hang out a little bit. And Light Blue is classic. It absolutely is classic. It's fantastic. And imagination is phenomenal. And I'm glad you like it, buddy. Like I said, I'm just not the biggest fan in the world of the Louis Vuitton fragrances, but I'm also a big turd when it comes to stuff like costing a lot versus like how well it performs, sort of. But then again, I'm not going to pretend I don't have some more expensive fragrances that also are not the best performers. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all. If anybody wants to join any of the other streams, please come through and do so. If you ever want to come back around, if you're not subscribing to the channel, but you ever want to come back around, just check in. Just search my name, check in for every now and then, and see what's going on. You're always welcome here. But thank you so much, Joshua. Also, again, happy 4th of July to anybody who does celebrate. I do hope that you guys are safe. I don't drink or nothing myself, but if you do, please be smart. Take care of yourselves. I cannot stress enough. I don't want anything to happen to you guys. So please take, my buddy Joshua here said, please be safe and watch out for each other that you're out there. But I appreciate y'all, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Boop.